everyone. Our today's topic is Ohm's law. So in this session we will discuss Ohm's law, and in previous video we will learn lots of topic in single video, and the duration of that video is 47 minutes approx. So this video is very compact. I will record this video in compact form, 4 to 5 minutes with single topic. Right. So in this video we will talk about Ohm's law, and the unit name is effects of current, and there is two chapters: heating effect of electric current and the magnetic effect of electric current. Ohm's law is very important, and it is asked almost in every board exam paper of class 10, right? If it is directly not asked for Ohm's law, indirectly application of Ohm's law, it is used in most of the numericals. In most of the numericals we apply Ohm's law. You can see in upcoming videos when we discuss about the numericals, right? So Ohm's law is basically the relationship between the potential difference, that is voltage, and the current flowing through a conductor. So this law basically relates potential difference with current, or current with potential difference, right? So now we know what is the law. According to Ohm's law, at constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends, right? So according to Ohm's law, at constant temperature, this term is very important. You must write at constant temperature at the beginning of the sentence or at the last of the sentence, because the resistance of the conductor depends on the temperature also. The resistance of the conductor depends on many factors. In many those factors, resistance is temperature is one. So as in metals, as we rise the temperature of the metal, the resistance is also rises. The value of the resistance also rises, right? So this term is very important in explaining the law. At constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor, right? Consider it is a conductor. The current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the voltage applied or potential difference applied across its ends, right? If I is the current flowing through a conductor and the potential difference applied across a conductor is V, then we can write V proportional to I according to Ohm's law, and we can say this relation at a condition that is at a constant temperature. The condition is temperature should be constant, right? Then V proportional I. As we remove the proportional sign, there is a constant, and they are linearly related, right? When we discuss about the graph of VI graph, then we will discuss all things, right? V is equals to, here a constant R, and this term is I, right? So we can write the constant as a K, but here we write R because this constant is known as the resistance of the conductor, right? So V is equals to Ri or V is equals to IR. Nothing difference between this and this. So V is equals to IR, where R is the constant, proportional constant, or we can write this R is equals to V by I, or this relation is also can also be written as I is equals to V by R. right? Okay, V is equals to IR, R is equals to V by I is equals to V by R. We can also define the resistance of the conductor by this relation, and we know here from this relation we can also know how the strength of the current is depend on voltage and the resistance of the conductor, right? So this is the proportional constant, and this constant is known as the resistance of the conductor. So the resistance of the conductor is basically ratio of the voltage or the potential difference and current flowing through it. So we can say the ratio of the potential difference applied between the ends of the conductor and the current flowing through it is a constant quantity. Is the ratio of V and I is a constant quantity called resistance, and this constant quantity is resistance and denoted by capital R, right? And from this relation we can relate that current is directly proportional to the voltage applied across the conductor. So I is directly proportional to V, whereas I is inversely proportional to the resistance of the conductor. If I is directly proportional to the voltage, we can say if we double the potential difference across a conductor, if the voltage is doubled across the conductor, then the current flowing through it is also doubled. If the voltage across the conductor is halved, then the current flowing through it is also halved. Whereas the dependency of the current on the resistance is different, and the relationship is inversely proportional. Here the current is inversely proportional to the resistance. It means that when we increase the resistance of the conductor, the current flowing through it decreased, right? Or you can say that if the resistance of the conductor is doubled, the current flowing through it is halved, and if the resistance of the conductor is halved, then the current flowing through it doubled, right? So basically the strength of the current depends on the two factors. One is voltage across the conductor, and the second one is the resistance. And resistance is also depend on some factors we will discuss in second videos, right? And but for now you can say that resistance of the conductor depends on the nature of the conductor, that is it is metal or non-metal, or which type of atom comprises this material, right? This is the nature of the material. Different materials have different resistance of the same dimensions, right? The length is same, the area of cross section is same, but the material of the both conductor are different, then the resistance of the both conductor are different. So the nature of the material is a factor for resistance, and length of the conductor is also a factor. Area of cross section of the conductor is also a factor. And the temperature of the conductor is also a factor for resistance. So we will end up this session and we will meet in second video. Thank you.